Alex. Welcome back to Percona Live 2023. We're here in Denver. And now I have Jan. Your official title is I run all the software and keep it working. Is that the official title?
It's senior product manager, actually. Senior product manager, and I currently have two products or lines of product, being the PostgreSQL distribution and MongoDB distribution. Mm-hmm. Although, when you think about it, I personally like to say PostgreSQL software and MongoDB software, because when you look at the distribution, it does not consist of PMM or operators, and we find we do have obviously product managers for the other products, but at the same time they look at the whole line of operators. For example, I am looking at the use case of the usage of particular users or customers who are looking at Mongo or Postgres technology, so that the whole database technology.
Yeah, the funny thing is Postgres has always been open source, well known, well out there, very healthy community. Mongo changed the license in 2018, seemed to upset half the world. Our version, Percona's version, is open source, GPL.
Oh, no, unfortunately, we do inherit the SSPL license from Mongo to the Percona server for MongoDB. But we do provide a fully open source backup tool, being PBM, Percona Backup for MongoDB. And we do have a fully open source operator as well. Although our server does have to inherit the infecting kind of license, being SSPL.
Okay.
So at the same time, though, being a drop-in replacement for MongoDB Community Edition, we do provide enterprise features, capabilities that are required by any, I would say any, I will boldly state any production environment.
So similar to what we do for MySQL, where we have the data masking and the connection pooler.
Exactly, LDAP integration or encryption or integration with key management systems or HashiCorp. This is basically what we provide.
Cool. We were just talking to Peter Farkas of FerretDB, which is yet another alternative, which is,
I think, growing to be.
And we also had Oves here from TigrisDB.
Yeah.
The idea that Mongo, being the only Mongo server out there, is kind of getting away, but it's still a very popular piece of software.
Oh yes, of course. And the big difference is that Percona server for MongoDB is basically a MongoDB. It's hard to even say that it's fully compatible, because it is basically MongoDB with added on top features that are missing in Community Edition. Those features have their own representation in an enterprise version. Yet these features that we put in PSNV are our implementation. We obviously try to be as close as possible to what Mongo has in the proprietary version, but we can be only as close.
Yeah. But it is a drop-in replacement. So if you're running Mongo and you don't want to give money to Mongo, you can come get it from us.
Yeah. The moment you are upset with Mongo politics, or you just feel that you want to go to a company that values open source rather than uses it as an adoption technique, we are there for you. And we find customers like our approach, actually value and cherish the approach we have to open source.
Yeah. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, Postgres, which is very interesting, is that it also has a lot of componentry that comes from third parties that get plugged in. I know one of the issues that repeatedly come up is someone needs this feature and that feature, or this extension and that extension, and they're not always tested together. And I know one of the things you've been doing is working on integration of another extension that I don't know if we have officially released, but it's coming.
Yes, so we can already say, because it was a part of our roadmap presentation. So as you said, one of the great values of our distribution is we have extensions selected by our experts, packaged together, tested together, made sure that those versions work properly together. And we have just expanded, or are just expanding, this support by another extension, being extension used for it's called PostGIS, so it's used for geospatial data, and it's coming early Q3. at no extra cost to our existing customers or next customers. It's basically we are extending the distribution and we are extending the support by this extension. Yes, so this is I can say almost official now. You can just anticipate blog posts and whatever marketing around it that this is going to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm a customer and I really love what we're doing, but I need an extra extension, they can kind of come to you and say, "Hey,
yes, of course,
consider that." Okay,
and this was one of the I won't say rants, but big important part of the roadmap presentation is that it's my pain, my egocentric Jan's pain as a product manager in Percona, and I believe this pain is shared by. And he'll again bold say than any product manager in an open source world. We don't get enough information about what customers and users are using, the way they're using. We lack the insights about adoption, about the struggles. We only get what we find out ourselves by going customer to customer, blog post to blog post, conference to conference. Whereas the enterprise software very often actually has built-in adoption tracking techniques and so forth. And there has been a big push in open source due to privacy. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't understand why. Because privacy-wise, the code that would be there to get the data would be open source. You can see that it doesn't do anything bad. As long as it's sanitized, you do not do anything. And yet you contribute to open source and you provide information about the storage, the software usage. You actually help by not opposing here.
Yeah.
So this is something I believe this is something for evangelism around open source that we have to start working on to make sure that since data is so valuable, like if it's sanitized, what do you have against sharing this data? You just use the software for free, and on various occasions like. It's really moral to contribute back.
Yeah. So one of the things about my job and my previous job was I'd run into people who are doing something with a database I didn't think you'd want to do or could do. And it's amazing to see the different approaches. And I want to say it's like creating a wrench or a hammer, but people do all these creative things with it, and it's always a joy. Anything else you can tell us? Any news you can drop or anything you'd like to have from the greater community?
Looking at what I have shared on the presentation for PostgreSQL, we are already looking into expanding to new extensions, as you mentioned. So we're looking into sharding support for PostgreSQL. This is something that we are investigating slowly, and come tomorrow to MongoDB. Presentation to learn a bit more about MongoDB contributions of ours. We have done amazing progress when it comes to backup. Again, coming back to my pain, I didn't get much feedback about the usage of the product. I get incidental one when I find somebody, and this is like, for as long as I remember, I haven't been with the company that long. It is amazing. Like people are really happy with this, with software and with our decisions that we make based on our observations. Yeah.
Well, if you only see the bug reports, you think, "Oh my God, my software is horrible." You don't see the 100,000 other people who are going, "Thank God this is here. It saved my butt."
Yeah, but is my decision to push for physical backups something that people appreciate? Are we doing them in a way that people can use them, or that do they find issues with? This feedback is not coming back to us. I find that contributing feedback to any tech previews we publish, and we do publish them very often, is very valuable. Yet this is not happening. So building the awareness of how important it is to even comment, "Yeah, this is great. I love your tech preview. I've tried it. There are limitations here and there. I didn't like documentation." This already is so precious. Like I would open a better beer in the evening having that having found that during the day. And I love my crowd beer. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Jan. I'm looking forward for the session tomorrow, and I love this session today. It was kind of fun having a major Postgres contributor sitting in there and giving you feedback, which was
this was amazing. I wanted to say this was really great, and thank you, Bruce. If you're listening to this, Thank you. Kudos for the feedback.
And by the way, Percona Live 2024, you could come and be here contributing directly to us if you're too shy to send off bug reports or anything else.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.